Using generative AI feels almost effortless. You type a question, press enter, and within a second you get an answer. It feels fast, simple, and completely digital. But that answer did not come from nowhere. Behind that simple screen are data center, powerful computers, electricity, cooling system, and fresh water. We usually don't see any of this when we use AI, and that's important because the convenience we experience on our screen can hide the environmental cost required to create it. Concerns about artificial intelligence are not new. In Will Douglas Haven's articles about Geoffrey Hinton, Hinton warns that increasingly powerful AI can create serious consequences, including misinformation, job displacement, and systems that may become difficult for humans to control. But there is another consequence that receives less attention. While we worry about what AI may do in the future, its environmental impact is already happening behind our screen. My argument is that generative AI is creating a culture where digital convenience is separate from environmental responsibility. Its physical costs are hidden from users. Those costs grows as AI use increase, and those environmental burden are not experienced equally by every community. My first claim, a simple interface hides its physical cost. My first point is about invisibility. When I ask AI a question, I only see my screen and answer. I don't see the server processing my request. I don't see the electricity powering those server. And I don't see the cooling system or fresh water needed to control the heat they produce. Adam Jeeves' article for MIT News helps reveals the physical infrastructure behind generative AI. This creates a separation between what users experience and what is actually happening. Think about buying gasoline. When we buy gas, we see the pump, the gallons, and the price. But with AI, we can make request after request without seeing the resources being consumed. That makes AI consumption feel almost consequenceless. Claim 2. Invisible costs become large at scale. My second point is about scale. One AI prompt may not seem like a serious environmental problem, but one prompt is not the real issue. Millions of people separately use generative AI to create text, image, code, summaries, videos, and other content. Research published in Applied Energy shows that more complex high-token AI requests can require more computing power and can produce greater carbon emission. But electricity is not only part of the problem. Data center computers also generate heat, so they need cooling, and cooling can require enormous amount of water use. Saleh report that US data centers already use around 449 million gallons of water every day. Future AI growth could add another 697 million to 1.451 billion gallons per day by 2030. These numbers matters because individuals' AI requests don't appear resource intensive to the users. This environmental demand becomes visible only when millions of those actions are connected to the physical infrastructure behind them. Claim 3. Global numbers can hide local inequality, but even those huge numbers don't tell us the whole story. We also need to ask, where are these environmental costs happening and who is carrying them? Rain and Environment explained that AI's environmental impact can change significantly depending on where its infrastructure is located. For example, the report that in 2022, Google's Finland data center used about 97% carbon-free energy, but some Google's data center in Asia use only around 4 to 18% carbon-free energy. Same company, similar technology, but very different environmental conditions. They also explains that water consumption can create greater pressure in dry regions such as Arizona and Chile. This is why simply calculating AI's total environmental footprint is not enough. AI's benefit can be enjoyed by people far away, while the physical environmental pressure is concentrated around particular infrastructure and communities. So, we should not only ask about how much AI consumes, we also need to ask who receives the convenience and who carries the cost. So, what should change? The solution is not simply to stop using generative AI. Instead, digital convenience should come with environmental responsibility. AI companies should provide clear information about the electricity, water, and environmental effect of individual data center locations. Locations should matter when new infrastructure is planned, and communities affected by these facilities should have a meaningful voice in decisions that affect their local resources. At the beginning of this video, AI response seemed almost weightless. Type, click, answer. But behind that answer are computers, electricity, cooling system, waters, and real communities. Generative AI may feel digital, but its infrastructure and its environmental consequences are physical. So, as AI becomes a large part of American life, we should not only ask what can AI do for us, we also ask what does that convenience require and who is being asked to carry the cost.